Um, Joining us in studio is a very regular on the show, and I'm referring to Selom the Dream Maker. You should be telling us more about why she's here, and of course, we have to for you the exciting conversation. Selom, no challenge. Yeah.
What's happening?
Yeah, we're there inside.
Good.
Yeah.
I heard you talking about Bakam Takrade, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Have you been are you a
I'm
product?
actually a team of the Bakam.
Oh, really?
I was supposed to be there today, but
Oh,
I couldn't join.
so you mean you and Ato Ozenapia?
Yes.
And what's this other guy's name? Is it Camille? No, you be major. Amazing.
Yes,
Wow.
Anyway, shout out to the team though.
So that's pleasantly surprised. I didn't know that.
Really?
Yeah.
Have you been to a bar camp before?
Oh, yeah.
I think Jude has. I haven't
You haven't
been yet.
Bar
Yeah.
camp Accra. You have to be there.
We have to be there.
We're there.
I think
December.
they've been going around.
Yeah.
So when they finally come,
Accra is usually the last.
usually the last.
Yes,
So that'll
which
be
is
in
in
December.
December, mostly.
Right. We'll definitely be there.
I have to force.
All right. So if you have any, questions for the segment that we're about to enter into, do send it to 0204-447-033, 0204-447-033. Alternatively, you can go on our social media handles with the hashtag Breakfast Daily Weekend on social media, and we'll ask Selom those questions for you. Today we're talking effective ways to design and organize your kitchen to avoid clutter. Effective ways to design, oh, this is lovely, and organize your kitchen to avoid clutter. And Selom is going to take us through that. First of all, these are modern kitchens, though. So we, those who don't have these type of kitchens,
I know.
Which type of kitchen?
these type of kitchens, the ones on the screen behind us, how do we, where do I even start? What's the first question I should ask? How do we put all of this together? Because it looks so nice, but not everybody has this type of kitchen.
You can't do momone fresh fish. You can't do momone in this kitchen. You to J the whole place. You can't do momone. You can't do kaku. You can't do
Why can't you? If you're talking about pounding fufu.
A chimney coin. Can't do something. You can't do plenty things there.
You can.
Are you sure?
Yes, you can.
But to the smell.
The smell, then whatever you do, you
You smell it.
Exactly. The smell, I mean, I believe there's very little you can do about that.
Yeah.
Talk to us about what goes into the creation of like a modern kitchen.
A modern kitchen, I mean, looking at the fact that today we want to delve around the issue of clutter, right, and organizing the kitchen, right. Most of the time, when you are designing, when you are trying to produce a kitchen, put in place a kitchen for your home, I think it stems from two things you want to really prioritize: the design and the planning. Let me put it that way: the plan or the design, and then habits, right? All these things you are seeing here, oh, nice, yeah, nice. Yes, the design goes into it. A lot goes into the planning and design. However, afterwards, you need some types of habits to be able to maintain it to look this good. Yes, you need a little bit of some discipline, right? This design in the sense that you want to ask yourself, if I need my kitchen to look this organized, to look this beautiful and, I mean, clutter-free, what are some of the things I need to put in place, right? Which also, I think last week we started the discussion on kitchens, and which also stems from how you cook at home. What are some of the things you are going to be bringing into your kitchen, right? You want to ask yourself some of these questions. What type of cook am I? Am I a family person? Am I a loner cooker? Am I a professional chef, kind of? Because all these people make use of different things, have actually different cooking habits, right? Do you get it? So you want to ask yourself all these questions. What type of things do I have in my kitchen? I mean, even with regards to storage is one thing you want to prioritize very well, right? Because you don't want to end up finishing and then the entire countertop is actually filled with either spices, plates, appliances. Do you get it? These days, a contemporary kitchen, you need to make provision for all these things. Do you get it? I mean, back in the days, we used to have storerooms and places for some of these things. Now, a contemporary kitchen, yes, you can still have a storeroom or a pantry. However, in some instances, I believe you can make good use of the kitchen cabinets such that there will be no need for a pantry. There will be no need for an entire room to use for a pantry. Hence, planning goes into it. You want to ask yourself, what type of utensils do I have? You want to stick to what we call the work triangle in the kitchen. The work triangle, so you actually prioritize the cooking zones, the storage zones, and then the cleaning zone. Where do I cook? Where do I prep? Where do I store my stuff?
I've been to some modern homes,
Yeah.
right? In some of these very affluent, communities around, and you get the sense that aside the spaces where they use as their kitchen,
Yeah.
they have another makeshift of a sort,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Where the heavy lifting, in quote, of cooking is done. So clearly you can't war a bit. You can't pound palm nuts there.
There's needs,
But
there's
in
needs at
in
the
You know-
point.
that kitchen that you went to now, they don't pound that
There's,
big.
there's
They
included-
do
There's
it.
a processor.
There's
No,
included
but
at
Charlie,
that point.
people's preference.
There's
Yeah,
a
there's a
processor.
there's a
processor. an
Yeah, but they
appliance.
like the one that they pound.
Oh no.
So
Ah,
if
in
you
that,
live- if you live on a penthouse,
You know,
if you live in
eh,
a penthouse, if you live in the 10th floor of a
Yeah,
No,
You
no,
want
no,
to
you
still be
can't
pounding.
pound it.
yeah.
They use a food
Yeah,
processor.
yes.
Dude, they use a food processor.
Exactly.
Did you even see a woman when you went to the picture?
And I've been to
Woman.
high-rise apartments where they do the abenkwa. Like, I'm not even joking. Like, right now, I'm not even trying
One
to.
day you'll be pounding and the whole building.
All the way, Charlie. But
No,
let me,
but
let me,
I
let
mean,
me
from
not
what
digress.
you're saying is actually true. These days, I mean, looking at our ways of cooking as Ghanaians or Africans, a lot goes into it.
Right.
So most of the foods we prepare are quite messy. Do you get it? So these days, from experience, what I notice is most homes make provision for 2 separate kitchens. Yes, one purposely for let me say decor and
Yeah.
display, and then the other one for all the messy stuff he's talking about, pounding fufu and kobe
I mean,
and
see, even recently, I went to a naming ceremony
yeah.
of a friend his brother, and and as part of their tradition,
Yeah.
you need to slaughter a lamb, a sheep. All of that was done in the house with the.
Hey.
I'm not even joking. And they put the meat on fire. We grill the thing. We chop the thing.
Wow.
So the point is that you can't be doing all of that in a kitchen like this, right? So we say best practices, finding some backyard somewhere where you can do again the heavy lifting
Yeah.
of cooking.
Yeah. So if you have the money, you go that route. Like I said, you might want to provide 2 separate kitchens or make it big enough to accommodate some of these things, or design it well enough to suit your kind of lifestyle, your kind of cooking habits. What are the types of foods you usually cook? Is it mostly about toasting and frying eggs and tea and those kind of exotic meals? Or you are very traditional. Banku is in there, Kokonte is in there, TZ is going in there.
My point is that if you can't have banku in a kitchen like this,
You don't feel comfortable.
the taste will even be so.
Well, Selo, talking about organization, so
Yeah.
what kind of tips should we be looking at? Now I see people buying like baskets,
Yeah.
people have spice racks,
Yeah.
people have, are they doing too much?
Not necessarily. Again, back from what I was saying earlier, in a kitchen like this, you want to really prioritize storage. Storage is actually key if you want to avoid clutter. If you want your kitchen to look as neat as you are finding in there, either you plan it such that you integrate all these storage options. Everything must have its place. A place for cutlery, a place for glasses, a place for plates, a place for, everything. Now, most of the time, I think this is very common. Appliances on the countertop, if you want to keep your countertop very free like that, that is one thing you should really look at.
I
Because
see there are shelves that you
Yes.
can pull down, and then they'll have the
Exactly.
appliances, or they're behind a cupboard of
Exactly,
some
that's what we
sort.
call an appliance garage. So place that, because usually when you are planning all these things, you don't think about all those small blender, kettle, toaster. I mean, before, until you start using the place, and then you realize they're just piling up on the counter, piling up on the counter. So probably you might want to leave those
That's
ones that are
nice.
essential. Yes, the ones you use probably every day. If it's a kettle for you, this is an appliance garage. If it's a kettle for you, maybe that is what you, essential.
Everything.
You can leave it there and then make provision for those items later back in the cabinets. Spices, that's another common, if you don't take care. So back again, you want to develop habits that will help you maintain it, because it is not easy. Money goes into it, and then you need habit and the discipline. So baskets are some of the ways you can use to organize these things if you don't have some of these contemporary features in your cabinets, in your kitchen. Make good use of baskets, because you want to organize all these small containers. Do you get it? And then tag them somewhere. Even if it's on the counter, at least it looks more organized in a basket than all over.
the place.
Exactly.
So aside the baskets, what are your go-to storage, containers or storage tips?
For storage containers, again, when it comes to spices, cereals, and all those things, I think it's usually best to use transparent jars, transparent containers. I mean, it could be glass, it could be plastic or whatever, but usually try and avoid, again, if you want to have that minimalistic look, that organized look, try and avoid all the groceries you are buying. Everything has a label, a packaging on it. Those things make the place look a little bit cluttered. So if possible, transfer them into empty jars, transparent jars. Glass is known to make the place look very minimal.
Yeah.
That's one thing about glass. Glass is very sleek and minimal. So transfer them into empty glass transparent containers. And if possible, just if you think some of the spices are going to confuse you, just add a simple label: salt, sugar, blah, 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 just to help with easy identification. So again, for storage, transparency, it helps really. So if you take a look at some of the pictures right on the screen, right, glass is quite consistent. Glass and then baskets. These two, I think I would really
Would you say there are some items that are very common in the traditional kitchen setup that in the decluttering process you need to take away from your modern kitchen or hide in a cabinet somewhere? I'll give you an example. Maybe a gas cylinder. 10, 15 years ago, it was very common to see a lot of people cook with a cylinder in the same space. And now I think people are trying to change that.
Yeah.
Will you say, for example, certain things, in the kitchen should be hidden and not be necessarily exposed?
But again, I think for me, I would go with the appliances issue. That's one thing. If possible, try as much as possible to either find a place for them.
In a cabinet somewhere.
In a cabinet somewhere. Probably leave just those ones that you use on a daily basis. How often do you use your air fryer? How often do you use a toaster? How often do you use your fufu machine? So why do you want to, unless probably you're living there for a purpose, for display purposes. If not, a cylinder, as you just mentioned, I think at least gladly that habit is going away gradually. Back then, it used to be very common. Yes, the cylinder inside the kitchen. Now, almost everybody is finding a way to hide it or even take it outside the kitchen. Do you get it?
But all of this is a money problem, right? It's expensive to maintain a kitchen like this.
I wouldn't say it's expensive. Well,
Hey.
It will cost you something. Yes, if you have the money to plan all these contemporary features, that's fine. However, I think another aspect is the habits. There are so many cheaper options. Baskets, how much do baskets cost? How much do transparent jars and containers cost? Do you get it? It's more of habits. Habits and consistency. If you're ready for it, just make sure, you find a way to integrate a schedule for yourself, something you can often do. You don't want to start something you can't finish. You don't want to start something because someone is constantly every day organizing and cleaning their kitchen, you should also go the same route. If weekly works for you, stick to that. So every week, I mean, let me just put away all the things I don't need. I mean, reorganize. Saturday morning, I use my Saturday morning to do that, and then back in. Someone prefers to do this on a daily basis, and it works for them. Do you get it? And it works for them. So glasses, again, back to glasses. In a way, sometimes it depends on how you display or store them. Might be good to display them, or sometimes just tuck them away. People like to use glass display cabinets, glass cabinets for the purposes of display. However, the only con I might want to say is about that kind of thing is if you are not well organized or you haven't been able to develop that habit yet, it might not go in your favor. Glass cabinets means that everything in there should be constantly looking neat. Do you get it? So if you are very messy, just stick to closed doors. Just stick to, how do you call it? Closed cabinets. This type of cabinets means you have to always make sure it is looking proper.
So in your organization skills, everything must have a place.
Everything must have a place.
And you must develop a habit.
Thank you.
Hey.
Yes. It starts with the planning. If you're able to do this right from the beginning, so you don't wait till the cabinets and the kitchen is fully made before you start thinking of how I'm going to store these things.
So then at the very start, when you think of building a house,
yes,
you need to figure out what will go into each room,
exactly,
especially the kitchen.
Exactly. That is how you get it right. And honestly, I won't lie to you. You don't want to wait till cabinets are already made, completed, and installed before you start thinking about some of these things. Look at your habits. What are some of the things I have in my home, or I'm thinking of buying? Am I a family person, or I live alone? You want to think about all these things so that the professional, you can come if you don't have one, would integrate it into the storage, because the cabinets are purely for storage. Cabinets, yes. Yeah. It's purely for storage. So if you don't use them well, you don't want to have a situation where you finish building a new cabinet, kitchen cabinet, and it's dysfunctional. You can't keep things in it. You can't do this. You can't, then what was the purpose? You wasted money.
Amazing.
Interesting.
Wow. I was going to ask you about my very common aesthetics functionality, but I think you've dealt with it. So
really? Yeah. No, tell us.
I think that based on all that you've said to us today, to plan a kitchen is more functionality than aesthetics. So that'll stay with me for this conversation. I'm sure people are wondering, where can we find Salon the Dream Maker? Are you available to help in, changing already existing kitchens for people?
Yes. So, these days, it looks like, from experience, the kitchen is usually when anybody is thinking of renovating, remodeling their home, most of the time the kitchen is the first place they think of. Because they realize that, what they built for me or what I bought is not working at all, or it's too small. Yes, so renovating it or remodeling it to suit your current lifestyle. Just, why not? It's something we do. Or if you want to build it from scratch as well, yes, start as fast as possible. Involve the professionals, so you don't want to make costly mistakes later on. Just call me, come to our office and at Adrengano, or just call us on 020-888-2722, or just search me on Instagram, Acento Projects or Salon Dream Maker.
Amazing.
Yeah, any.
Salon Dream Maker.
I'll make your dream come true.
No, it's for there. Oh, Charlie. Oh, Salon say, I'll make your dream come true.
I'll make your dream come true.
I know my dream. I dream.
He's a dream maker.
What is your dream? Tell me.
So, thank you. I'll tell you off air.
Tell us.
So I wanted to ask quickly, though, how often should we reassess our kitchen space? You talked about we should start from the very beginning, but let's say I've already done it and I've changed it, or I think of changing it. How often should we, reassess our kitchen space and all the little nitty-gritty bits?
With this, I wouldn't want to put timelines
Okay.
on it. But then, what I can say is, as often as your lifestyle is changing, do you get it? One minute you were single, you were alone. The next moment you now have a baby, or someone else is living with you. Another moment you're married. Do you get it? The moment your lifestyle or your living habits is changing, you might want to assess some of these things to see, do they still fit my current lifestyle? Do they still fit? Are they still fit for purpose? Because if I'm single and I'm building, I mean, if you didn't think into the future, then you might want to do this frequently. Yes, unless you want to remain single forever.
Well, that's what. Money.
So you think about it, assesses, and then you start planning or saving towards it. Yes, you don't wait. I don't think you should wait till you have money. In there, you will never have money.
That's very true. Budget properly. Form habits.
Thank you.
Proper habits
Yes.
to maintain the kitchen that you dream
Staying
of.
organized
This
is not
lovely.
an easy
It's not
thing.
easy.
Yes.
It's not easy in my room right now. Yesterday, I was looking for something to wear for the show. Oh, the room looks
You
like
search and
it's
search and
messy.
search and search and search.
Messy. Yeah. Yeah. Clutter-free space.
Yes.
That's our top
It
priority.
makes
for
working
the
in the
year.
kitchen very pleasant,
Does.
very easy. You
It
don't
does.
want to start searching, looking for pepper. Where did I put the pepper? Where? Yes.
I always say for makeup artists, they're always looking for a brush to and I know they'll come for me.
They'll come
But
for
thank
you.
you so much, Selam. That was amazing. So, you know, if you want a clutter-free space or how to organize your kitchen properly, said it starts from you. So you need to form the habit.